Any public comment?
Oh, see anybody on
There's something that needs to be done there.
the? Yeah, when we go live, we gotta hit that little got it button.
Yeah.
Nobody's on there, Kim?
Okay, fine.
Everybody heard us talking about taxes and they're like, I'm out.
You asked her. She should do this. We're good to keep going. I
Okay.
don't think there's anybody on
Approval of
there.
the minutes,
I make a motion.
I'll second.
all in favor? Aye. Renewal of health insurance. So I think we decided to, at this point, we won't look into it until next year, but that we kind of, I looked around to other cities. I mean, I feel like we're similar to other cities. Everyone's got a health care insurance type
Yeah.
thing. I don't know what you wanna, but that's,
Oh, basically, it's on there because I need a decision.
Yeah.
And so if you guys,
I think if, I mean, the people who are getting the insurance were happy with it, I'm fine.
yeah, I've not had any complaints, so.
so I'll make a motion to renew the health care insurance for this year.
Second.
Right, so we're just gonna renew the current plan, extend it with, I think it was what, 9%, something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'll do it afterward.
You'll have time.
All right, lagoon cleaning, that's huge. Excel spreadsheet with lots of big numbers.
So those, I mean, I think you guys wanted to talk about that and some options and what. You know,
Yeah, I think you had talked about. Lagoon one's the one that it first goes into, right?
Yes,
And so is that the one you want to concentrate on first?
no.
That's the one you do.
Cell three.
Cell three.
The finish spot.
And obviously, every year. The number goes up. We did put. That's what was the CEDOM or whatever that, there is a grant out there that. It was like a 50-50 match that we kind of put. Some information out there. I don't know if it'll do anything or if it'll come back with anything, but I went to a meeting with other people that. Sounds like this is a problem, obviously, for everyone with this higher level of having this issue. And it's probably big numbers everywhere trying to get it in line. So hopefully there's gonna be some kind of a grant or something that we can find help.
That would be sweet. But definitely, yeah, I mean, to be clean.
Well, and everybody's gonna run into this issue now because everybody's gotta treat this phosphorus or so all the solids are dropping out where they getting all drop out before, so. It's gonna become an issue with everybody.
So. We don't need to make any action here. We're just discussing it. I mean, obviously, that is something that we're going to do.
and I think we have it on the agenda for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tonight.
so,
14.
I think that we just need to start looking at what kind of, you know, what time frame we're looking at. I mean, that was what I got from Adam.
Yeah, that's,
The cleaning order went 312, correct?
yes,
We had roughly. Half. Or 500,000 in the cleaning budget. Or the sewer
no,
budget.
that was the whole sewer.
No, that's what's sitting in the bank account.
Right, that's what I mean, I'm sorry, not the budget,
That's the whole.
Right.
So if we were gonna look for a grant. Do you know any other grants out there, I guess, that would? For this type of thing?
I think C2A is probably gonna help us with some options,
Okay.
maybe the DEQ has some options, and then the Michigan Rural Water.
Okay.
I mean, I know there's loan programs and that kind of stuff, but I'm not sure. What that looks like in a grant.
I'm not either. I do have a couple of webinars coming up here in the next couple of weeks on this issue, so.
Well, I do know they talked about it in that meeting that I went to, and other people are discussing it too, so I think people are out there trying to look for it, because I think everybody's in the same boat.
Luckily, we have the best grant writer. So,
That's true. We will take care of that.
So. Anything more on the Zoom cleaning, I guess, that you feel like we need to be aware of?
No, I guess I just, I think that we just need to make sure everybody is thinking about how we're gonna fund it, and if we're looking at 3 years, 5 years, and, kind of make sure it's on everybody's radar. And I'm not sure,
Which-
I think Adam might
And Adam
show
will
up
be able to
tonight.
get us a better idea of time wise when I do this judging this spring, so. Cause we're gonna compare last year's to this year's and see what.
So we stopped all the extra stuff that we've been doing, so that's gonna,
Save us a little bit of money.
is there a better time of the year to clean it than another? I would assume summer would help. Price
Yeah,
stuff
when the
down.
water's the lowest is when, because we'll discharge as much as we can in the spring and then.
Got it.
Precipitation is lower in the summer, so.
Right,
Cause they literally go down in there with. Backhoes and bulldozers and.
well, that's, no,
That kind of stuff.
It was kind of interesting.
all right, so we'll move on to the budget. Kind of went over that in that meeting.
Just kind of figured it'd be a good time to follow up and see if any questions came to mind, anything anybody wants to talk about. I haven't really had any issues with, everybody seems on board with what we have going on, so. Okay. Process, the numbers, anything? No. All
I
right,
thought that meeting was beneficial.
I definitely thought it was. I appreciate that.
you're welcome. Just figured you had time to sleep on it, maybe you had a bunch of weird questions for me. or something.
I have weird questions, but not about the stuff.
Okay, we'll save those for Dave then.
All right, the state of Michigan marijuana payment.
We got our payment in, and I know you guys, a couple of times somebody said to me, well, what are we doing with it? I mean, if it is something you guys want to restrict or use for something, then, you might want to talk about that, otherwise it sits in the general fund, so.
Okay, so it automatically goes into the general fund at this point, but if we want to.
So like when we talk about like, say we're gonna write a grant for something or whatever, and we're looking for match, then we know we have, we really haven't spent it, it's sitting there, 50,000 from last year, say, and 50,000 from this year, so, is it something that, we want to try to because one thing I would caution on is that we don't base our budget on it.
Right,
Because we don't know.
We don't know when it's gonna go away. We don't know when it's gonna change. Everybody was speculating that this year's payment would be way more. It's actually less. So, the amount we reduced the renewal, so we're not doing 5,000, our renewal is only 3,500. And then we get the 50,000 some change from the state, so.
What's that? Just because we have
Correct.
local
The
routes?
tax.
It's
Okay.
any
Right.
municipality that has a marijuana commercial dispensary in their commercial district, downtown district. They get or maybe it's not downtown district, but anyways, in the commercial, then they get to split this pot of money that the state has,
Okay,
that they collect from the retailers.
right.
And so anybody, so like say Calcasas has 7, they get 7 times $50,000.
Right.
And we
Okay.
get 1 times $50,000.
I think $50,000 is nice for a small little town.
So, and like I said, I don't know that we know that it's gonna last forever, so I would say we shouldn't plan wages or like
for
health
sure.
insurance and things,
Mhm.
but it should be used for, improvements that we wanna make, but wouldn't if we didn't have the money. Does
I
that make
think like
sense?
beautification,
parks or, something special for DPW, police, downtown, whatever, I mean. Something, a fountain, I don't know, whatever it is you're thinking that, or if it's in our plan or, there's things in our plan that we're like, well, I don't know how we're gonna fund, a trail or whatever. So, just so that we don't get bogged down using it as revenue
That makes sense.
to pay our bills. So, and if you want to talk about it at council, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. I didn't put it on the agenda. I just kind of figured, it would start here if you guys want to.
I don't think it needs to be on the agenda right now, obviously, like,
Or maybe we know that you got it though, I guess.
yeah, knowing
Well,
that
it
it's
did in
there,
our packets
Yeah.
that we got it. I mean,
It's 54.
that
mean,
might be good for pickleball update.
well, there you go. I did read an article about pickleball causing problems in neighborhood parks.
Somebody put it out there saying that.
Like what
Oh,
happened?
it's so much louder. Like, cause the rackets are different and the pickleball people are wanting to take the tennis court people's spaces. And the tennis court people are not happy about it. I read this article, I laughed so hard, I sent it to everybody, I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, I saw on the community page that somebody was looking for people to play weekly tournament.
Oh, I did see that. Yep, I can't remember who that was, but I did see that.
I don't know who that is.
But anyways, I mean, I think that grant match, that's a good use for those right now when we have a project or whatever, but. And yeah, I did attach it to the packets, so everybody at least knows what it was or whatever, but. I mean, whether you want to talk about it or talk about reserving it or restricting it is up to you.
I think it makes sense to go with the general fund. You can use it the way you want. If you put it in a restricted fund, then right.
I have a question, just random change of subject here. Since we're here and we're not like pressed for time or anything. What is being planned, if anything, for the space between the dentist office and the pharmacy? Like, I know there's been numerous things here
That
and there.
ginormous building is what's
It's the-
planned.
Should we talk to Clay? My brother, Clay?
The building,
You should talk to him about it. Just send him to you.
it's up on our website and we've asked for
I
proposals.
know, but he lives in Oklahoma, but
Oh,
he might be like, oh, my hometown. But has there been any other thoughts, or do we just stick with that?
nope, that's the only thing right now that's been, but
Somebody kind of asked me, because I said we were talking about the railroad and they said, well, why aren't people moving forward on some of this stuff? And I think the biggest thing is money. I mean, I think a lot of people, I think we have good ideas, but it's
I
like.
mean, I
someone
don't have
needs
any
to-
money, so.
But I'm just saying, we
I mean,
can't fund this.
yeah, that building, I mean, for me, one of the issues is that we have some vacant commercial space that we're trying to fill, so why build more?
Yeah.
I mean, but then we had, one of our commercial spaces wanting a bigger space, so then it made sense to build, something for that.
Mhm.
And then they were trying to make it work with second story apartments, but the numbers just didn't work, and that was probably a year or so ago. When, we had that big sign up and we
That
talked
was
about,
cool.
yeah, I mean, but we didn't really get any takers, so. I mean, maybe we get these 30 houses built, then maybe somebody will wanna do that, or maybe the city will decide, maybe we don't want a commercial building there, maybe we want a parking lot, maybe we want a mini park,
A fountain and a mural,
yeah, so I mean, we have lots of places for mirror,
definitely.
but I wouldn't build a
I'm ready to
mural
paint.
on that site unless I knew that that site wasn't gonna have a big building on it next
Right,
door,
yeah.
cause that would kind of cover it.
Right,
I mean, your ones that are in the street, that face the street maybe, but, definitely. Murals are, a good idea. I think there is some funding out there for some. So, but yeah, I mean, I think that at some point when we review our economic development plan or a master plan or other plans that should come up for discussion again. I mean, I know there was a time when we talked about using it for parking. And then that, you know, somebody said, nope, we need to develop it and get it back on the tax roll, so. That's what we did, we tried to get a plan for that. But they can change, plans can change, so.
And who knows, this other person might go in and other people might be interested because
Mhm.
you just don't know.
So no, there's really, other than the, you know, the commercial development that we've brought forward, that's the only thing right now that's on the city's plans for that site.
That's on the website. I guess I haven't looked at that in a while. Alright.
It's okay, you know.
Do you have anything under other that you thought of?
No,
Okay. Anything you can think
anything on the council agenda that, you guys want to talk
of?
about,
There wasn't a whole lot of money stuff, was there?
that was in the packet?
Besides the lagoon thing. Oh. the
Did
whole
Brian
barn, I
miss
guess.
us?
Yeah,
Right.
Who?
Brian Franklin. The one that you took his spot.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. He was ready to go.
All right,
So we're gonna, on the medical benefit option, then, it'll just come from you guys as a recommendation.
okay.
And then the 2020, I mean, unless, if there's nothing else to talk about, it's just on there, and then next month I'll bring a, proposed budget to move to. This next month will be April already, so we'll bring that proposed budget, like, hopefully all balanced out, and then. You guys will make a motion to, move it to public hearing.
Okay.
And then once we get through the public hearing in May, then we have the meeting in May to approve it. So,
So we're on track.
yeah, so unless there's any big changes that anybody wants to make, we're just kind of finalizing everything we've already talked about. In all the committees and, last month's meeting, so. And then the 120 Railroad, where, they've been working on the. Phase 2 environmental, all that. We talked to the health department about the wells.
How do they feel about that?
They were great. They had some good ideas and they were great. So they were really appreciative that we reached out to them to try to, get ahead of the project, and so. And then obviously I got a letter from the city attorney. I called him to make sure that we were on track so you guys could see what he had to say about it. So that's all I got.
He seemed excited to. All right. So do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I second that.
Okay.
You made the motion then?
You want a second? Somebody